Shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rekwak Wadash. This is going to be called Scary Hours, Ukraine, blackout. Everything that you see in Ukraine is coming to Rome. It's coming to America. It's coming to Mystery Babylon. These things are coming. So that's why it's kind of like, it's good to see these things. The Lord is showing us these things so we can know what's coming, and then he sets up his prophets as watchmen to go out there on the highways and byways and prophesy and tell the people, warn the people that these things is coming. This is coming to America. If you want to see what's coming, then you need to look at what's going on over there in Ukraine, because this is how war, this is how countries war with each other. So it's not just, okay, we just gonna drop a nuclear bomb on you. There's different weapons. You have EMPs, you have things where they take down the grid. So when America joins World War III and countries start actually targeting America, homeland, it's going to be by the way of these things. You're going to have something called cyber war. It's more than just, boots on the ground. You get boots on the ground. You have war at sea. You have something called cyber war where, they start taking things offline, critical infrastructure, taking it down. And that could also cause a blackout too. And then you also have weapons that they send over here that could take down the grid, and that just alone, because you got to think about it, when the grid goes down, right, just like the people in the Ukraine, what they're experiencing right now, a nuclear bomb don't even have to kill them, famines. And what does the Bible talk about? The Bible talks, that's Matthew 24, the Bible talks about famines, right, pesticences, because pesticences come, if you got a grid coming down, then you don't have no sanitation. People don't understand that it's a lot that goes into a city, that keeps a city clean. You need people to come pick up the trash. Now, it's cold outside right now, but if you got trash in the wintertime, in the summertime, if you don't take that out or you don't dispose that fast enough, you get something called magnets, and they grow and they grow and they grow, and they can get in your soil and they could chip at your wood and everything like that. So if you don't have trashmen coming to pick up trash, right? If you don't have your water plants cleaning your water, so your water gets contaminated, you can't drink it, because if you drink it, you're gonna die. And a lot of this stuff runs on power, electricity, and gas and fuel and stuff like that. So you can't really have one without the other. You need electricity and you need fuel. So these blackouts, the gas stations run on electricity. You can have fuel there all day. Like the old school pumps back in the day, it was an actual pump. You had to pump your gas out. It was manual. That was all the way back in the day, right? But today, you can have fuel there, but if you ain't got electricity, how you gonna get the fuel out the pumps? So it all goes hand in hand. So when these blackouts come, that's gonna cause a lot of death. That's gonna cause a lot of people to die of a famine, not getting food, not getting resources, die of pesticides, right? So this is what the Bible prophesy, and you can see in Ukraine right now. So where's all the GI Joe, the GI Jane woman, the tough women, the independent women right now? They are begging for help right now. Where's all the tough, strongest men and internet warriors? You ain't got internet warriors over there right now. You got men that's really fighting, and you got men that's trying to survive. So let's let this play.
Kyiv is in the dark this morning after Russian strikes knocked power out of much of the country. Bad weather now slowing down repair crews who are racing to restore that power, as Ukrainians are now being told to prepare for more blackouts. That means
they're not telling you the severity of it, because they're coming from their their perspective. They don't want to tell you how really bad it is and show you, but you will have to Google on YouTube, or just go on YouTube and type in and search about some of the things that's happening over there, and you would get real images and real truth of what's going on over there. We can't really put that out like that. Why.
More remarkable scenes like this one. Doctors in Kyiv performing heart surgery basically by flashlight because their hospital had no lights. CNN's Claire Sebastian joins us now. Claire, these images coming out of what life is like for these Ukrainians now as they are dealing with what Russia is doing, what is basically this terror campaign, as you've heard the NATO Secretary General describe it as, they're just remarkable.
Yeah, Caitlin, extraordinary scenes. This came from the head of medical services at the Kiev Heart Institute. This was a child undergoing emergency open heart surgery. They were only doing emergency operations.
And there's nothing being shown. That this is on CNN. This is on YouTube already, man. So, damn. Disclaimer. Fair Use Act. Research purposes.
At this institute, and the operation was already underway when the lights went out. But you can see from those images the doctors.
Think about that. Our operation is under the way, then the lights go out, and you lose all power. Just take that, you know.
Going, they used their headlamps. This was not the head of that hospital said that there was an opportunity creating these electricity transmission operator in Ukraine this morning that they've now restored, they say, 70% of demand for electricity in the country. That's up from 50% yesterday evening. So it shows that they have been working through the night. The nuclear plants, which crucially for the first time in decades were taken offline, off the grid.
Now you see that? Right? And they're trying to restore it while Russia is taking it down. So every time they restore it, they taking it down. But does this first picture to the new picture, does that look like they done restored it? See, so you got to be able to, you know, read between the lines, the bullshit. You know what I mean? That's just to give people hope. Oh, they restored 70%. They was down at 50%, but it really could have been 20%. They probably only restored 20%. So you can't really get caught with the numbers because the images don't show what you're saying. I don't see 70% of the first image on the second image. You see what I'm saying? It looks like damn near 10%. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, just look at it. Look at the difference. You know, so you got to also realize that it's not just the lights go out. The hospitals go out. So you know how many people depend on stuff like that? You know, a lot of different, the trucking world is going to stop completely. And these things are going to come over here to Rome. It's going to come over here to Mystery Babylon. It's coming to America very soon.
This week by these attacks are now back online, gradually ramping up their own electricity generation. But those efforts to restore power are being hampered by bad weather, yet another challenge they face. And I wanted to point out these satellite images that we have now. On the left, January this year. On the right, November. You can see that the lights have been taken out across the country. This underscores the challenge that Ukraine now faces. But of course, those scenes from those medical facilities show that they have no choice but to keep trying to restore electricity, even as the risk remains that it's going to get knocked out again.
Can we put those images back up that you just showed there, Claire? This is remarkable. This is what you can see from space. You can see just how bad the blackouts and how severe they are. This is just remarkable to see the side-by-side images of that, of what these Ukrainians are dealing with, what these emergency services are dealing with, and the fact that winter is setting in and they're dealing with this.
And that makes it even worse because during the winter time, people consume so much energy, so much more energy in the wintertime. You know, a lot of our bills go up. Your gas bill, if you got gas at your house, goes out the roof during the wintertime, you know. This is Zephaniah chapter 1. Verse 14, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and this is what we're prophesying. And hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man should cry there bitterly. So it's not just the woman that's being humbled over there, right? The tough woman, the independent, the goddess woman bullshit, right? Nah, they being fucking humbled over there, right? But the men too, you know, the men are crying bitterly because they're losing families. It says, the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation. So what does that look like? That's distress. People are in distress. And this is the point. A day of darkness and gloominess. A day of darkness, man. And the darkness is going to come by. It's spiritual too. And then on the carnal, on the physical act, right, it's you literally going to have darkness because the grid's going to get took down. And then with nuclear weapons, you know, they have a lot of debris and smoke and clouds and mushroom clouds that go into the sky that blocks out the sun. So it's going to be dark all day long, you know. It says in thick darkness, a day of clouds. What's that? The mushroom clouds. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced city. So right now in Ukraine, you know, they got their alarms going off. You know, missiles are coming in. It says against the high towers, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. So this is what's happening. This is what's coming. People don't understand what's coming, man. Death is coming. Just like during the time of Noah with the great flood. Noah was out there prophesying. And what came after? Great death. People was drowned to death. That's one of like the worst ways to die. It's to be drowned and to die of hunger, because you just got to sit there and deal with it. Verse 18, neither their silver nor their gold should be able to deliver them in the day of Lord's wrath. What the fuck is Bitcoin going to do? What the fuck is stocks going to do, man? All these guys online promoting that shit like that's going to get them salvation. They mind is in the wrong place. Bitcoin's not doing anything for these people in Ukraine right now that's going through this blackout. They can't even access their Bitcoin. They ain't got power. You got to think about it. When the grid goes down, the cell phone towers go down. You can't even use your cell phone no more. You don't have internet no more. How you going to pay? Who you going to give Bitcoin to? You going to get on promise when the grid comes back up, I'm going to give you Bitcoin. Just let me use these covers and buy these covers and get this shelter and get this food right now. Come on, it's bullshit. Right? But even neither silver nor real gold is going to save you in the Lord's destruction, in the Lord's wrath. You could have all the gold in the world. You could be the richest guy. You could be Jeff Bezos. It don't matter. If you escape the judgment, you're going into slavery. You're going to feel the Lord's wrath, man. It says, but the whole land should be devoured by fire of his jealousy. You could have all the gold in the world. You could have as much gold as King Solomon got, and you could be sitting on top of the gold mountain, and it's not going to save you when those nukes come. You're going to die by fire of his jealousy, right? It says, for he shall make a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. But this is the point. This is what we need to do. This is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together, gather together, O nation not desire. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chef, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. So we need to come together, the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We need to come together, and then once we come together, we need to do this. Verse 3, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which has wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye should be hid in the day of the Lord's anger, meaning that you could be saved, salvation, right? But we have to seek the Lord. I seen a guy, he put a post up on Facebook, and he was saying like, pretty much going against the Bible because it was used against us in slavery. And I was like, man, come on, bro. It's very simple. Don't be mad at the Bible. Be mad at the people that was using it against us. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad, roughly paraphrasing, right? But he wanted to take it out on religion and say that he was more spirituality. Hey, man, you need to seek after the Lord. You could be spiritual all you want and believe that God is in you and you is a God, but there's still one that's called the Most High God. And you need to seek after the Most High God, and you got to be meek about it, right? And seek righteousness. Righteousness is based off what? The law, statutes, and commandments, the ways of the Lord. So he was saying, like, I'm into spirituality and I'm into what our ancestors was in, not the Bible pretty much, not understanding the ceremonies and the customs that our ancestors was keeping are actually customs that's found in the Bible that goes back to the law, statutes, and commandments. It's just, man, but that's what we out here for. That's why, roughly paraphrasing, wear out the saints day and night. This is a fight, to the end, and this is not an easy walk, wanting to be a hopeful prophet, a hopeful elect, It's not a cakewalk, and that's why there's such a great reward for it, and I'm going to get into that salvation that you may be hid. Let's let this play.
It's really remarkable.
Yeah, and it's ramping up as well. The attack started on sort of substations, connectors throughout the grid. Now they're attacking the sort of generation capacity itself with these nuclear plants, hydroelectric plants, and all, as you say, as winter really starts to set in, people are dealing with this on a day-to-day basis, having to sort of conserve energy, save water, all of those things. And for regular people as well, they keep doing it even when the water comes back, because of course they feel that it could disappear again at any moment.
Right. Now check this out, right? So if you sitting over here in Ukraine right now, which there are men of the Lord over there in Ukraine, there is the electors over there because we were scattered, right? Now, if you seek the Lord, like it said in Zephaniah 2, that you may be hid in the day of his Lord, of the Lord's wrath and his anger, this is how it looks. Psalms 91, right? Verse 5, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. So what's that? That's those missiles coming in, man. And then at nighttime, all you see is like a sprinkle, a star. Sometimes you don't even see that because it's so much smoke already in the air. You just hear it, you know. And I've seen videos, and you hear it kind of winding through the sky, and then it comes and then it blows up, and you hear something blow up. But it said, look, if you want the elect and you seek the Lord, right, you ain't gonna be worried about it because the Lord gonna be protecting you, and that's happening to men right now in Ukraine, right? It says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. Why? Because we just said when the grid goes down, you don't have the sanitation. You don't have there's another word for it, right? And then those things get out of hand pretty much, right? That walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. It says 1,000 shall fall by thy side. That's happening right now. But that's coming to a place near you. That's coming to Mystery Babylon. That's coming to Rome. It says, and 10,000 at thy right hand, right? But it shall not come nigh thee. So a nuclear missile might go off and kill 10,000, but you going to be saved out of it. It says, only with thy eyes should thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. You know, you're going to have the elect man of the Lord, you know, that's going to be walking through these streets because through much tribulation we must enter the kingdom of heaven. So we gonna be here seeing the destruction happen. We gonna be walking through the streets, but the Lord gonna be taking care of us if we be those men, right? And we gonna be seeing, it's gonna be like the book of Eli, like Denzel Washington, the book of Eli. You're gonna be seeing women get ravished. You're gonna be seeing people just give up the ghost. You're gonna be seeing people go hungry. You're gonna be seeing people, we can't speak about too much, but you know, you're gonna be seeing kaboom, you know, you're gonna be seeing that, right? And I used to have dreams and visions of that when I was younger, of those things, of planes falling out the sky 5 blocks away from you and a big boom, and then the shock wave come and you had to kind of duck behind the building. It felt like it was real life, man. It says, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. Why? Because you seek the Lord. It says you seek the Lord ways. You didn't go off your own mind and your own understanding. You know, you went off, man, let me see what is righteous. What is considered righteous? Let me seek after the Lord's ways. And then you start rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of your ability. Verse 10, it says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So when these plagues and these evils come out here, it's not going to come near you. It says it's not going to hit you, you know. It says, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. The angel's going to be there to save you, man. You know, you may have an angel that may come to you and give you a message and tell you, hey, look, they finna sweep this block and put people in camps, right? Leave now. And it may just be a random, like, old looking man with a white beard, and you say, what? And then but the spirit may be on you to listen to him, and that may save your life. Brothers that have visions and dreams and put up videos about that, you know. It says, they shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. That may literally happen. You know, you may be finna take your last breath. Something might be finna happen, and the angel might put a force field around you. The angel might come and literally beam you up right while a missile is coming down. It says, thou shalt translate you up, right? It says, thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder and the young lion and the dragon should thou trample under thy feet. Because you got to think about it. When the grid goes down, people got to, what was the word? Bug out. People got to bug out. So you might be in a wilderness. You might be in a wooded area, right? And there may be bears in certain parts of the country. There may be mountain lions, right? And they gonna be out there. They gonna be hungry. I mean, you seen the I Am Legend, right? Will Smith. There was lions in the street feeding, you know, and one might come after you, and you might get saved out of it, you know. You might get the strength like King David had, and be able to take them down with your hands. It says, because he has that spiritual power, and that's coming. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Right? It says, I will set him on high because he has known my name. He should call upon me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. So you have to know the name. Right? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. That's the name. Remember that name, man. Because in your time of trouble, just you calling on that name, the Lord may answer you. It says, with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. That's what it is, right? You want to be saved. So in the Christian church, they used to tell you, you know, just getting the water dumped on your head, the baptism, they say that you were saved. No, salvation is being saved out of this destruction that's coming. It's being saved out of what the Ukrainians are going through. that destruction, that death, being saved out of it by the Lord. You know, and these things is coming here to Mystery Babylon, you know. So I'm gonna leave it there. Yep, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna say salvation to the elect. Shalom.